All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. And my name is Rakisha, and welcome to another edition of Craftinista Sundays, where every Sunday I walk you through a very crafty tutorial. So for this week's class, we're going to do a peppermint themed candy cane ornament, and all the products are going to be from Dollar Tree. And so hold on, I'm going to show you what we're making today. All right, so this is what we're making today. It is, like I said, it's a candy cane wreath, and I made it a peppermint theme, but you can choose whatever color ornaments you like. So all of the supplies are from Dollar Tree, and I'll share the supply list now so you can see it. And this is what we'll need today. The optional part of this is the garland that I also have. And I'm gonna just let everyone in. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Craftinista Sundays. And if you're just joining us, don't worry, you haven't missed much. We haven't really started yet. I've been giving everyone a chance so they can join us. And I'm just sharing the supply list now. So this week we're making a dollar store candy cane shaped wreath made with the ornaments, and then there's also the option to embellish it with different floral picks and also the lights. But this is the list of supplies that you'll need. What's not on here, I just realized before I started this, is the garland, which is optional. You don't really need it. It's just an extra level of just decorations and making it a little bit more full, but you don't necessarily have to have it. It was just something that I wanted to add. So, all right, so good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. I haven't started yet. I'm just giving everyone a chance to join us. So if you're joining, let me know if you've ever made these wreaths before. You can post that in the chat. Just let me know if you've ever made these wreaths before, or if this is your first time. That way it'll help me when I'm going through the tutorial, so I'll know who I'm talking to and whether I should just kind of breeze through it or take my time. So just let me know. And while we're waiting, I'm just gonna go ahead and open up my ornaments. So that way, once we start the tutorial, that'll be an easy part and I won't get hung up on it. So I'm just gonna, I have another storage unit for these, so I'm not worried about preserving the packaging. So while we're waiting, I'll just go ahead and open mine, and you can do the same. Just take a pair of scissors. If you plan to preserve it, then you might want to be a little bit more gentle than I'm being. But yeah, just go ahead and open up your ornament packages now. So that way, once we get started, you won't have to worry about this part. And this is why I no longer wear acrylic nails. Because crafting destroys my manicures. So yeah, I'm just gonna open these. And this is the list. So when I say large ornaments, this is the size that I mean. It's the package that comes with just 5 pieces. So for tonight's class, you're going to need 2 packs of these, which is the large ones. You're going to need 2 medium ones, which look like this. And you're going to need 1 pack of small ones, which look like this. For fullness, you could use one of these packs as well. This is like a small pack as well. So you could use the extra small ones like this, or you could use the small ones like this. It really just depends on how full you want it. If you are not able to watch the entire class tonight, don't worry. This is going to be posted to my YouTube channel under Keisha the Craftinista on YouTube. And so you could go back and rewatch it there as well. So if you have any questions before I get started, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go straight through it. Open these. These things are being stubborn. And let me know if you can hear me okay. And if you can see me okay. And the original ornament that I did is red and white, and I made these for my daughter's school. I'm making a set of wreaths for her school, and the one that I'm going to do today is just a little bit different. It was a special request from one of the teachers, and she wanted a similar design, but she wanted hers in green. So if you're just joining us, don't worry, we haven't yet started. I'm just opening up the ornaments to give everyone some time to join us. So before we get started, it's a little easier if you just go ahead and open up the packaging, which is what I'm doing now. So that way it saves you some time and a little bit of frustration if it's already open. All right, so all of mine are open. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome to Craftinista Sundays again. My name is Rakisha. You can call me Keisha the Craftinista. I am, by day, I'm a business consultant and a strategist, and by night, I am a certified craftaholic and a craft porter. I'm self-taught. I pretty much have not met a Pinterest project that I didn't want to try. And for tonight's class, we're going to work on this wreath. What you're seeing now is the supply list. So I'll go ahead and stop that so that you can see the wreath that we're making tonight. All of these, all of the supplies that I used for this were purchased from the Dollar Tree. And I think the grand total of this is less than $10, maybe right at $10, but it's about $10. So it has the ornaments, it has the bow, and then it has the picks, and as well as some lights. And then from the back, there's garland just to make it a little bit more full. So that's what we'll be working on tonight. And again, I'm making these as a series for my daughter's school for their decorations. They're actually really, really pressed about them. And I told them that I would, I needed to do this class today, and then I was going to give them to them on Monday. So they were really like, where's our wreath? Where's our wreath? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this class on Sunday so I can actually show people, and then we'll go about it, and then I'll give y'all's wreath. So you start with this basic candy cane wreath, and it comes just like this. Like I got this straight from Dollar Tree. I didn't change anything. I didn't spray paint it or anything, and I'm not going to. And so what I did first is I wrapped it with this garland, and the garland comes like this. Should have taken it out of the bag, but that's okay. The garland comes like this, and it is 15 feet. I think I used one and then a little bit more, so that's why I bought two, but it's only $1. So you could ball out of control at Dollar Tree if you really want to. It's like I walk up in there like, yeah, give me one of everything, because everything's $1. So as the supply list said, you'll need 2 of the large size ornaments, which look like this. You'll need 2 of the medium size ornament packs, which look like this. You'll also need a hot glue gun and glue sticks, which, as you can see, me and Old Faithful, we've been through some things, honey. She's been with me. This is my first craft project material that I ever purchased about 4 years ago, and so me and Old Faithful, we've been rocking it out, honey. Optional, you can get these floral picks, which look like this. You can get the floral pick, which looks like this. And also the bow that I use, it comes in a pack of 2. Comes in a pack of 2. The bow's a little camera shy. Comes in a pack of 2. Of course, I already used 1, so I have 1 left. So this is a perfect timing. And then just for some embellishments, you can add little things like this. They came in a bag, the little gold things. So the colors that I'm going to do tonight are a little bit different from the original one. I'm going to do red, green, and gold. I'm hoping that it comes out right, because I've never really done Christmas with these colors before. I'm more of like a traditional Christmas colors type of person. So I'm just gonna wing it tonight with y'all, and I'm going on a wing and a prayer to hope that it comes out right. So to get started, what I do is I wrap the garland around the candy cane. Now this is wired, so you could hot glue it just to secure it, but you don't necessarily have to. Now since these are going at a school, I'm going to secure mine just because I don't want I will be totally humiliated if a kid just pulls on it and then it just comes apart. So I'm gonna start by wrapping it, since it's like wired, so it's easy to shape. So the way I'm gonna start this is I'm just gonna wrap the end of it around the edge of the candy cane. I hope y'all can see this. So I'm just gonna wrap it like that so that it's secured, and then I'll hot glue it in a second. But I'm just gonna start by just wrapping out the end on the corner of the candy cane, and then just to secure it, me and Old Faithful are gonna just hot glue this bad boy down. And the glue sticks are actually from Dollar Tree as well. I did not know Dollar Tree sold glue sticks, but I was in that bad boy for like an hour and a half the other day, just walking around. It's been a while since I did that. I don't know if y'all do that too, but I really will just go in a craft store without any project in mind, and I'll just be walking around aimlessly like I don't have nothing else better to do with my life. But so to get this on, I literally just wrap it around, and you don't really need hot glue in between this at this stage, but I really just wrap it around. Now you could weave it as well. That takes a little bit more time and a little bit more materials. But it ends up being a little bit more full, and you can more easily get to these little wrongs, or whatever they're called. I made that word up, so if that's not a word, don't judge me, because I don't know what they're called. But these little iron things, you can more easily get to those, but you don't really have to. It takes a little bit more time, and the first time I did one of these, I weaved it, and it took forever, just because once you weave it, you gotta like thread it through back and forth. But I just wrapped it like this, and it's no special way, so I really just took it one space at a time, and then as I'm twisting it, I'm just attaching it. And since it's wired, I don't really have to secure it, so I hot glued the end already, so I don't really have to do that again. And I just follow the shape of the candy cane. It doesn't have to be super full, just because once you add the ornaments, you don't really see much of this anyway, but it's just an added level of detail, an added layer, because once we outline the actual candy cane with the ornaments, you really won't see much of this anyway. And then to finish this, now that I'm at the end, I'm gonna do the same thing and just wrap it around the edge like this, and then I'll secure it with just a little bit of hot glue, just so me and Old Faithful are happy. But you don't really have to. It's just, again, since this is for a school, and you know how kids are. Kids, you tell a kid not to touch something, and that's the first thing they're gonna do is touch it. So I just don't want them to tell the kids not to touch it, and then they touch it, and then the whole thing falls apart, and they're gonna be like, "Who made these? That girl from Buy Keeps with Love made these? Well, this must be a representation of her company, so I'm not gonna buy anything from her." So to start the second one, I just wrap this around on the outside edge, just like I did the last time, just like a spiral, and I just wrap it around, and then I just continue my wrap. You just do it like this, and you keep wrapping, You can push it down if you want it to be more full, but I'm not too concerned with it. It's more for the adults to make sure that they know that it's well made, but I don't really think the kids will mind. They're just excited about Christmas, so they're not gonna be like, "Oh, girl, you saw that candy cane wreath? That thing was not even that full." It's gonna be the adults that are gonna talk about me. So I'm doing this, I'm getting this right for them. I know that's a little petty, but I don't care. All right, so gonna finish wrapping this. And then the next step after this is we're gonna grab our ornaments and we'll outline the outer edges of the wreath. So essentially what you're doing to make this and any other wreath that you make, especially with the ornaments, the big thing about this is you're just going to outline it first. So you're going to start with the outer edges first, and then the more complicated part comes when you are trying to actually fill it in. So as you can see, it looks like this. Oh, this is so pretty. This is actually pretty like this. Like you could really stop right here and not do much else, and you would still be good to go. So take my scissors. Since I'm done wrapping it, take my scissors and I cut the end of it, and then just like I did before, which I already know y'all aren't going to be able to see it, so I'm not even going to try. So like I did before, I just wrapped the edges around, and like I said, this is wired, so I don't really have to do anything. And I'll secure it with a little bit of hot glue, thanks to Old Faithful and my Dollar Tree glue sticks, which I did shop around. Did you know that Dollar Tree gives you more glue sticks than Walmart? So at Walmart, I saw the packages of glue sticks like this, and they were in a pack of 10 for $1 or 97 cents. But I got a pack of 20 at Dollar Tree for $1. So hey, now I know I can actually buy my glue from Dollar Tree. So this is what it looks like once it's wrapped. This is so pretty. I could really just add the bow and be done. So this is what it looks like once it's wrapped. Now here comes the fun part. What you're going to do now is you're going to take the different size ornaments and you're going to outline the edges on both sides. So you're going to add ornaments here. I wish I could add an arrow. You're going to add ornaments here, and you're going to add ornaments here. And like I said, the fun part is when you start filling in the ornaments and the little floral picks in here. Now what I do first is I add the bow. Just because it's easier to figure out where I'm going to place the bow now than to try to get it to lay flat later. And so I added my bow first, like this, and then I just take some hot glue to glue it down. So that way the ornaments don't get in the way, and you'll always know that your bow is going to be in place. And I'm a little bit liberal with my hot glue. So like I said, I like to make sure that my stuff is gonna stay. So I hot glue the bow first, and then that's when I add the ornaments. So I start with the large ornaments, and you can alternate them for your colors. Like these are the colors that I'm using tonight. And I got a few more than what I actually needed because I just wanted more variety. Even though I'm not going to use all of these, I still wanted to make sure I had them just for the sake of having them. So what I'm going to do to attach it, and I'm almost out of hot glue. I'm going to use a lot of hot glue tonight. So yeah. All right. So what I do to attach it is I take the ornament like this, and you can take this part off if you want. You don't have to. I figure I paid for it, and it's going to be covered anyway, so I'm just going to leave it there. But to attach it, I just take the glue gun and I very liberally attach, or I very liberally apply the hot glue to the ring of the ornament like this. And then, as I said, I'm just gonna start by applying it to the outside like this. Well, this is the inside, right? Looks like Rudolph. So what I did was I put the hot glue on, and then I just pressed it inside until it stuck to something. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it actually stuck to, but it's probably sticking to the frame of the candy cane. And that's what we're gonna do all the way around here. And you can alternate it with your different colors. You can make it as unique as you really want it to be. And I just realized I did not open one pack of these ornaments, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So you can make it as different and as unique as you really wanted to. So you can alternate your colors if you want. The color of your hot glue doesn't really matter. I bought this glittery hot glue from the Dollar Tree just because I thought in the off chance that you might be able to see it, but you really can't. So once you get the hang of this part, then you're just gonna follow that all the way around. So I'm gonna let y'all watch this part. So let me know if you have any questions so far about what I'm doing. I know sometimes when I'm crafting, I tend to get in my own head, and I know if this is your first time doing it, you might have some questions. So just let me know, but I'll go ahead and just try to get through this because I don't want the whole thing to be just y'all watching me hot glue stuff. So if y'all have any questions so far, just let me know. If you don't think you'll be able to watch the whole class, this is going to be recorded and it will be posted to my YouTube channel. Now for the curvy part, this is when I like to use the smaller ornaments. These packages are being stubborn today. For this part, this is where I like to use, like where the curve is here. This is where I like to use the smaller ornaments. So this green isn't really, I guess it's okay. Since it's like a metallic green, I guess it'll be okay. But this is what the customer wanted, so hey, I'm just here to give you what you asked for, honey. You want red, green, and gold, and that is what you're going to get. And so I just push it through until I feel that it's on the frame. And if you want it to be extra secure, you can add a little hot glue in between the two ornaments and then press those together, so you can definitely make sure that it's not going to move at all. Now, some people will say that you should use all the same color ornaments. I'm not one of those people, or the same size ornaments when you're outlining it. I'm not one of those people. I tend to kind of craft the way that my heart desires, and I don't really like for my stuff to look the same exact way as other people's. So I like this way a little bit better. It gives it more variety, and I think it stands out a little bit more. And so I'm gonna, and one of the reasons why I like to attach the bow before I attach the ornaments is because it saves me the space. So now I don't have to really worry about putting ornaments behind this bow, and I can literally just skip that space and put ornaments before, after, and next to it. So again, just applying the hot glue here. You can see the little tails, which I can't stand. If anybody has any tricks for eliminating the hot glue tails, please share those in the comments. So, because I could really use some tips for how to lower the amount of tails that you get for your hot glue. So I'm just gonna keep wrapping these around. Ooh, this baby is hot. Hot. I feel like I sound like a toddler. It's hot. And if you want, you can wear gloves. I mean, I think I've developed like hot glue fingertips, just because my fingertips have been burned so often using hot glue that now it doesn't necessarily bother me. So I might have damaged the nerve endings. I might have damaged my nerve endings with hot glue. So I will sometimes just touch it, and it doesn't burn me that much anymore. I mean, I still feel the sensation, I still feel the pain, but I think I've touched this stuff so much that my skin is like, okay, I know what this is. All right, so once we do this part, I'm gonna add this here, and you can alternate it as much as you want. If you have one color, that's fine. If you have several colors, that's even better. It'll pop a little bit more. So yeah. All right, hi everyone. If you're just joining, you haven't missed much. We're only just outlining the wreath. So far I have wrapped it in the garland, and I'm just outlining it with ornaments. And once I'm done with this, I'm actually going to go ahead and secure this with more. I'm going to secure the ornaments with more hot glue, but this is where we are so far. Let me know if you can see this. Okay, it might be a little bright. Let me see. So this is what I have so far. This is gonna be cute. Do you ever make something and you surprise yourself? That's what's happening right now. I'm surprising myself. So this is cute so far, but this is what I have, and I'm just gonna finish outlining the inside of it, and then the next step is to do the same thing on the outside. And I'm gonna alternate this a little bit more. I bought more than what I knew I would need, just because Dollar Tree was being stingy with these variety packs. Like, in order to get 1 or 2 different kinds, I have to buy a whole pack. And I think that's how they make their money. They're like, I'm not gonna give you all the good stuff in the same packaging. No, if you want the same good stuff, you gotta buy like 2 or 3 of the same package or a different package just to get some good stuff, which that's okay. I don't mind. It's $1, so it's like Dollar Tree makes me feel so wealthy and rich. I be in there like, yeah, I want all of this. I want give me one of everything. I don't care. Now let me go into the grocery store and be like, how much is this? And you only gonna give me how much? Nah, I could get that at Dollar Tree. So yeah, so I'm just gonna finish outlining this, and I'm just pushing. When you see me pushing, I'm just pushing through the garland to get to the frame of the candy cane. And then once everything is done, I'm gonna go through, and in between these spaces that you see, I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue in between them, just because I don't usually do that, but this one is for a school, and I don't want them kids to embarrass me. By pulling my stuff apart, I don't want them to kind of show the weaknesses of my art. So I need to make sure this bad boy is secure. And if you want, when I was doing this the first couple times, I added my ornaments to a bowl, so I didn't have to like waste time pulling them out of the package like this. And I destroyed mine because I have another ornament storage container. But if you don't have that, then I recommend that you exercise a little bit more care than I did when you're taking yours out. So, ooh, this is pretty. And the person I'm making this for, she likes gaudy and glittery stuff. That's not necessarily my style. So I will admit, sometimes if someone requests it, then I'll be like, I don't know if I could do that because it's not my personal style. So someone asked for it, I'm like, I'll try it, but I don't know. All right, so now that I've done, I'll show y'all the outside. Ooh, pretty. I've done the outside, and so the next step is to do the same thing here. Wait, this is probably the inside, so this will be the outside. So I've done the inside, and then this is the outside. So you do the same thing with the outside. You use the small and the medium. Yeah, sorry. Do the small and the medium, and you can alternate it just to make it more full. So I'm using these 2 sizes, by the way. And then just to keep the colors unique, I have 3 different kinds of design ornaments, or whatever you want to, what do they call them? They just call them decorations, but the more elaborate designs, these are the kind that I'm using, just so y'all know which kind I have. So if you see me make this and you fall in love and you're like, I'm running to the Dollar Tree to get these too, these are the ones that these are what mine look like. So this is it. These are the little, what I'm gonna call the accent ornaments. So when y'all hear me say accent, that's what I mean. So I'll go back and fill these in. Now some people do the plain ones on the outside and then the accent ones on the inside. It's totally up to you. You can do it the way I'm doing it. You can do it your own way. It really doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about crafting, is everybody has their own style. And no one style is really better. Woo, touch the hot glue. No one style is better than the other. So you don't always have to do something exactly the way someone does it. I just like to show how I did it to give people an idea of how they may want to do it on their own. And this one is just a little bit different from the one that I did earlier, but I'm doing it like that on purpose because I'm doing a set for teachers and directors, and they all said that they wanted to make sure that theirs was not the same as someone else's. So even the way that I'm attaching the sizes is a little bit different, just to make it very, very clear that this is for different people. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do the same one for everyone, because I'll tell you what usually happens when I do something like this. People will put in very specific orders. They'll put in very specific requests, and then they will see the request that somebody else put in, and they'll be like, oh, I like hers better. So personally, I prefer when people are like, oh, well, you're just gonna say stuff. I prefer when people are like, I trust you, do your thing, versus trying to give me specific instructions. Because very rarely, when I let other people tell me what to do and I do exactly what they do, and it's like different, how all of these are gonna be different, very rarely is everyone satisfied. I've had more luck with people being satisfied. Oops. I've had more luck with people being satisfied when they just let me freestyle. Because I've learned most people don't even know what they want. They have an idea, but if they don't know what's really possible, then they won't really know what to ask for. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just outlining the outside of it, and I'm trying to keep it so that the colors are not the same. Like when they're across from each other like this, I'm trying to make it so that the colors are different too. But you could definitely, I thought about this the other day, you could definitely really make this like a striped candy cane. Like you can do all red, all white, all red, all white, like that. If that's your cup of tea, you could definitely set yours up that way. And I think that would be really pretty. But I'm not doing that tonight. So this is what we're gonna do. And I think this is gonna be very pretty. I think it's gonna come out nice. And so we're just gonna do the same thing. Just keep attaching it. You're gonna use a lot of hot glue, honey, so don't try to skip out on it. And I'll tell you, if you try to be stingy with the hot glue, it's gonna let you down. And you're gonna find yourself wishing that you'd use some, because you do not want these things to come off. And I'm a big proponent of, especially for Christmas decorations, if you're the type to use the same colors every year, I'm a big supporter of just getting it right the first time, so that next year you're not pulling out this wreath and the ornaments are coming off and all that stuff, and you got to pretty much make it all over again. I'm a big supporter of just do it right now. Do it right this time. Get enough glue on it this time. Put enough product on it now, so that when it's time for you to pack it away, you won't have to unpack it next year and be like, oh man, look what I did. Now I got to do this whole thing over, as opposed to just being able to pull it right out of the box and just make it that way. So I'm mixing up the small and the medium ones. I'm sorry, the medium and the large ones to fill this up. And you'll see as we go along, like you can put these in the middle like this to fill it in, and that's pretty much how it will go when you start to fill it in. That's actually the fun part for me. This part is more like, you know how you have to train for a race and the training is not the fun part, but once you get to the race and you actually win, you're like, okay, I'm glad I did it this way. I'm glad I actually did the work to train, because now my hard work is paying off. That's pretty much what this is. This is the training to get it right, get it tight, and then once you get to the middle part, if you do the outside part right, then the fun part, the middle part will end up being a little bit more fun. But if you're like me, anytime you get to craft, it's fun. My day job is pretty blah. As an entrepreneur, I don't really get to craft a whole lot. I do have a t-shirt business, but even that, it's more like work to me more than just crafting for fun now. So it just doesn't feel the same as just doing something just for the sake of doing it. So I want to keep one of these green for the middle, and this gold, I think I want to put this here. And it's okay now to start figuring out how you think you're going to place everything, so that you can think about how you're going to place it before you put all of them on. I mean, you could really rip it off. I've done that before, so don't feel bad if you get to a point where you're like, I don't like this, I want to start over, because I've definitely done that before. But the good thing about this is it's not super permanent. So if you really needed to rip it off, if you honestly got to the end and you realize that you didn't actually like it, you could always start over. Or you could just go back to a point where you actually felt like you liked what you made, and then you can just tear it off. There's no shame in doing that, honestly. When you're crafting, it's a more personal thing, unless it's a very specific order for a client. If you're just crafting for fun, you could really make it how you want to make it. You don't really have to be worried about like getting it perfect. And I wouldn't even recommend that you start to try to build your crafting projects based on trying to get them perfect. I don't think that's a very good approach, because it will hinder your creativity if you're so focused on getting it perfect versus just, following your heart and allowing your own creativity to take control. If you're so focused on getting it perfect, then many times you'll end up like slowing down yourself, because you're like, oh, this is not perfect, I don't want to post it. Especially if you're in that group that I admin, Black Girls Craft, we get a whole lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, people in here are so talented, I don't want to post my stuff because it's not perfect. And I always tell people, like, post your stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even our stuff is not perfect. Nothing is. Nothing that people craft is perfect. It's handmade, and I think that's the allure of doing something with your hands, is it doesn't have to be perfect. It comes from your heart, and that's just what it is. So I'm going to take these off so y'all don't think I jumped ahead. But I did just want to plan it out so I can see what I'm working with. All right, so I have 2 more slots to fill in, but I don't know how I want to fill it in. I do have these gold. I have this glitter. I think I'm going to use this glitter one. I didn't want to do gold next to gold. I feel like my daughter, when she decorated our tree, she was like, you could tell all the spots that she did it. But when she was asleep, I definitely went back and fixed it. But her whole side of the tree, because our tree is pink, white, and silver, her whole side of the tree was pink. It was just pink ornament after pink ornament after pink ornament, and there was no mixing. There was no blending at all, honey. I was like, girl, you not finna have my tree looking all crazy. So I'm gonna add in, I think that green would look good there. I should have bought more green. See, I didn't think that the green would look that nice. So I honestly didn't buy that much. But let me see. Maybe I'll just do another red. It won't hurt. We got the red glitter bow next to the red glitter ornament. It won't hurt. And I will say the medium-sized ornaments, maybe if you choose to do one size, the medium-sized ornaments might be the best for doing the outline of it. But this, oh, honey, ooh, I touched Old Faithful. All right, so this is what, Lord have mercy. Oh, that was one of the ones that I just started out. All right, so this one looks like, oh, this is pretty, y'all. So what does y'all look like? Does it look like mine? Have y'all finished your outline yet? And I'm gonna add this one at the end. So this is what I have so far. This is so pretty. These colors are really pretty, actually. Girl, I'm impressing myself. All right, so now that I have the inside and the outside outline, what I do next is I just kind of play around with the middle. So I have these little picks that, I mean, you guys could get these at Dollar Tree as well, but I took them apart. So you could be like me, or you could just keep them like they are. So it came like this, but I really wanted this piece, and then I wanted to use this separately. And so I pulled mine apart. So it came like this, but I pulled it apart like this. So what I do next is I kind of just play around with the placement just to see like how different pieces will look once it's filled in. And you can do yours like this, especially if you're using the holly. I think this is called holly. What does it say it's called? Oh, it just says berries. So this is the piece that I'm using. And to use these, I really just pull it off. So I just pull it off the stem, and then I insert it in there like this. Now this one is left over from the original ornament that I showed y'all, since it has 4 on it, but I really only use 3. But again, to use this, I just pull it off. So I don't cut it or anything. It really just comes off just that easily. And I don't lift weights. I'm not that big, like y'all can see. So it doesn't really take a whole lot to separate it from the stem. So at this point, I just play around with it a little bit. I play around with the placement just to see what I like and what looks good, what I might need to change, what I might need to shift around. And at this point, if I need to replace some of the ornaments, I'll do that as well. It's no shame in my game, tutorial or not. If something needs to be reworked, then it needs to be reworked. That's it. So down the middle, I use a mixture of the medium ornaments and these extra small ones. And I might mix in a few large ones. It really just depends on the spacing of it all. I don't want it to look too crowded. I still want you to be able to tell that this is an ornament. I'm not an ornament, candy cane shaped wreath. So I don't want it to be too full, but I don't want it to look empty either. So that's like the struggle, is figuring out the placement to get everything together. I think I want to add these floral picks. What do y'all think? Can y'all see? I'm thinking about adding these floral picks. These look a little nice. And usually when I'm crafting, I do it standing up, because I feel like I have a better perspective when I'm standing. Since I'm so small, it's like I really can't see much. So if I'm standing, I feel like I have a different perspective and a more a more realistic perspective of what it really looks like. So before I secure everything, I'm gonna stand up just to really look at it, because it's like if you can't really see the picture if you're in the frame, like that sort of thing. And I don't want it to look junky either. So let me see. Lord, I got glitter all over myself. All right, so I don't like this. I'm gonna use the itty bitty ones. I'm gonna open these and use them as fillers as well. So it's not so super full. Now, if you want to go for fullness, that's okay. Please don't be insulted, because that's not what I'm choosing to do. As I said, crafting is personal, and it's all about your personal choices, your personal style. So if your personal style is more, you know, eccentric and more about bling and all that, that's totally fine. So if you want yours to be super full so that nobody sees anything but ornaments, then you could just fill yours in the same way. So what you would do if you wanted to be totally full is you would take the medium size ones and you would just fill them in like this. And it doesn't have to be in this order, but you would just fill them in as much as you could. And then you would use these smaller ones to fill in the gap, and then even smaller ones to fill in even more gaps. So that way you're not able to see, ooh, that looks good. I might do it like y'all. I might just fill it all the way in. But yeah, if you wanted to fill it all the way in, you could do it that way. But I'm just gonna work with it. I'm gonna see what feels good, what looks good, and then I'm just gonna go with it from there. I don't really have a specific formula for this part of it. It really just depends on what feels good. All right, and I also have these medium red ones. Lord, that one quit. It said it didn't want to be a part of this video anymore. So ornament just tapped out on me, and that's okay. I don't know why. I don't like the metallic next to the metallic. I feel like that's a little bit too much. I know she asked for, her words were, I want all the bling. So I know that's what she asked for, but I don't know. I still want it to look nice. I wanted to have some bling, but I want it to still look chic. So maybe, I don't know if I like these on there. I don't know if I like these, but I have some other ones to do. I have a red one that I got from Michael's that I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll add it to those. But yeah, so this is the most time consuming part for me. Is figuring out how I want to fill it in. And it's totally up to you how you want to approach this. You could fill it in as you go. You could test it out to see what you like, but really just depends. And even sometimes what I'll do, even though I have the bow here, just to lift this up, sometimes I'll add this size underneath the bow just to lift it up so it's not so flat next to the other pieces. I mean, you won't be able to see them, but at least it'll be lifted. And one of the reasons I do the bow first is so that I'll know about the placement, and it's easier for me to do that and then fill in around it than it is to try to find a place after the fact to attach the bow. So it's just easier to do that at first. And so, see what I did? This was from a past wreath that I did, and I pulled it off because I didn't like the way that this looked. And so that's just another example. Like, I don't care. I will snatch some stuff off of a project and start over. I do not care. I'm not one of those people who's like trying to act like my crafting is perfect. or I'm perfect, because I'm not, and neither is my crafting. And I live my life a whole lot better by being that way and accepting that about myself. Once you understand that everything doesn't have to be perfect, life gets so much better, I promise. All right, so there's some green here. I'm gonna add this green to the bottom. I'm gonna add this gold one here. I don't like these picks. I'm gonna just take those out. And then I'm gonna add this one here. I don't like that one. I think I wanna add a plain red one here. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, I like this. We're gonna go with this. All right, so I'm gonna do this gold one here. I'm gonna put this green one here. Put this red one like that. I want a larger red one. Yeah, I want this one. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. How's y'all's coming? Do y'all have any questions? How's your wreath coming? Is it more work than you thought it would be? I'm running out of water, so that means it's about time for me to go. All right, so last step, filling in the middle. I have the way that I want my ornaments to be placed. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay. And it's almost dinner time. When I know I have to do these, I start my dinner really early. So I started dinner at 3, and I'm just putting the finishing touches. I also usually have Sunday dinners with my brothers, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna have Sunday dinner on a Monday this week, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. I like when I get to see them. We don't always get along, which, I mean, most siblings have their issues, but I'm always happy when I get to spend time with them and see my nieces and nephews. All right, so I'm gonna add this pick. To add the pick, I just smother it with glue on the bottom, and then I just bury it until I find the frame of the candy cane. And I like to do mine sticking up like this, so it's like 3D. Ooh, like this. But you could try to get yours to lay down. For me, it was just easier to do it sticking up than it is to try to get it to lay down. Now I need this. I actually need this one. Now I don't know if this ornament just thought it was just gonna be stubborn and I was gonna give up. But it's like, have you met me? All right, so here it is. I just realized I'm talking about an inanimate object as if it has real emotions. Yeah, so just blame it on my imagination. I think in order to be a creative person, you have to have a little bit of an overactive imagination. Ooh, Old Faithful, you keep coming in contact with my fingers. But I'm hard-headed and I refuse to wear gloves when I'm working with hot glue. So part of this is my fault. All right, so for this one, for this side, I think I want to put the holly here. I know this isn't actually holly, but it looks like it. It says Dollar Tree calls it berry, so that's what I should be calling it, but I think it's close to holly. Close enough. Close enough. All right, so for this top part, I'm gonna add this here. I'm gonna add a little medium one here. And the gold, kind of want to do another red one. Here. And then Maybe I'll do a red and a green one. I don't like these on this. I don't know why. I can't get into them. They're not doing it for me like I thought they would. But that's okay. Sometimes you buy stuff and you just think that it's gonna work. I think that's how I ended up with most of my crafting supplies. Because I would just buy something in the off chance that it actually does work, and then when it doesn't work, I can't return it. So then I end up with so many craft supplies. I have so much craft supplies, and I keep adding to it because once I want to do a project, I don't use the stuff I already have. I go out and I buy more stuff. So then it's just like I keep piling it up. I probably have 10 or 15 craft businesses in my home right now, and I keep adding to it. But ask me, does it bother me? It does not. It does not. And until it starts to bother me, I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, so this is the last one. I'm gonna throw all this in the trash. And I kind of want to find a place for this one. Oh, this one I forgot about. I'll add this one instead. Oh, this is the same one. Just kidding. All right, so I think this is how I'm going to do it. Let me stand up so I can see it from the top. And I think I want to add some more ornaments under here just to fill it in. So how do y'all feel about it so far? Do you feel like you've done well with your project? Let me check the chat because I just realized I'm not actually looking at y'all's questions. All right, Consuela says she loves it. Okay, good. All right, hold on. All right, so how are y'all feeling about y'all's? I love this. I haven't actually even made my own wreath this year yet. I had a wreath that I made last year, but I'm not feeling it anymore. So I might just throw it in as a bonus to make them think that I did something extra for them. But I want this to be under here. I want to fill this in a little bit more. I'm actually going to add one ornament to the outside next to the bow. I'm just going to add this one there. It's looking a little lonely on the outside, so I'm going to add one. I didn't plan to, but I'm going to add one right underneath. Yeah, this looks better. All right, so press that. Me and Old Faithful, we're going to have a talk, honey, because this stuff is, maybe, it's probably me. It's probably me, but still, I keep touching it. My fingertips, if I needed to get fingerprinted tomorrow, the feds wouldn't be able to find me because I done burned them off. All right, maybe I'll add one here too. I don't know if I like the glittery one. I'll wait and see how I feel once I fill this part in. So I'm gonna add these little ornaments underneath the bow, just these tiny ones. I'm gonna add those underneath the bow, just to lift it up so it doesn't fall so that the tails of the bow, so that they don't fall so super flat. And you're not really gonna see these, so I don't really think the color choices matter that much. I should have been tracking how much hot glue I use. Have y'all been counting? I haven't. I should have counted like how many hot glue sticks I use, so that way I could tell people like, this is how much I use. You know, sometimes when you're doing a tutorial, or maybe I don't do tutorials, but sometimes like the questions that you don't really consider are the questions that people end up asking. So I try to always, one of the things that I said I would do once I decided to start doing tutorials is I wanted to answer questions with the tutorials that most people don't answer. And that's what inspired me to start doing them myself, is because I was watching them and there were so many questions, like they would just breeze through the tutorial and I'm like, okay, well, how many is that? And how many how many packs of ornaments is that, and how did you attach it, and you know, what did you use, and all that. And then they would just like kick off the tutorial and just jump right into it, honey. And I would just be like, I don't know what in the world this lady is doing, and I don't know how she's doing it. So that's what actually inspired me to start doing them myself, because I realized that sometimes, especially once you're an experienced crafter, sometimes you'll take that for granted, and you'll just, when you start to teach people, you'll take for granted the fact that you've done it dozens of times, and you'll kind of just breeze through it. So if I've done that, it would be so funny if I did that tonight while I'm critiquing other people for doing the same thing. But if I did that, just let me know, because I mean, I'm human and I'm definitely open to any feedback. But the main thing that I wanted to do with my own tutorials is to try to give people what I thought I was missing when I first started out, which is just very specific, like step by step, walking you through every single thing that you do when you want to make something. And I get it, people don't have the time for it, so I understand why they might do it that way. That's fine, I'm not judging nobody. People have lives, crafting is mine. So I understand why. I actually want to switch these. Not really. Ooh, child, what a mess. All right, so do I want this red one? Or do I want to put this gold one here? Maybe I'll do it like this. Nope, that's too big. All right, so I'll do it. Let me stand up so I can see this. All right, I like it like this. Now this one I'm not too fond of, so I'm gonna get a smaller one for this space right here. And I want to change this one. Okay. Ooh, this is pretty. Wow. I impressed myself. I got a little hot glue residue on that one. All right, so this is going to be what the final product looks like. Now, if you want to add more, if you get to this point and you realize you haven't added enough, that's where the smaller ornaments will come in handy, the extra small ones like these. These are really, really good for space fillers. The floral picks are also good for space fillers. So these are floral picks. When I say floral picks, this is what I mean. You could also get something like this, which I think these are actually Dollar Tree's version of hollies. I think they're berries. I'm going to be honest and say, I don't think I've ever seen holly in real life. So I can't really call it. I don't spend a lot of time in nature. So I don't really know what these things look like. I don't really spend a lot of time. I spend time outside because I run and I take walks. But in nature, nah, I'm from Florida. Being in nature will kill you. You could be taking a walk, and the next thing you know, an alligator will come and walk right alongside you. So I know better than to spend a whole lot of time outside in nature. Now, I'll take some walks. I'll walk with you. A long walk around the park after dark, like Jill Scott said. But am I going to go to inside nature? I don't do that. That was a survival technique we learned in Florida. You can't be out here just taking random walks, because alligators, they like to take walks too, and they've been so desensitized to humans that they don't even really run from us. They realize that they're at the top of the food chain between humans and us. Like, if it's just me without a weapon, I don't stand a chance. And I think alligators know that now. They've gotten hip to the game. So let me make sure I secured all of these. I'm gonna add some more to this. And before I'm finished, I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna add some glue like into the sides, just to make sure to add that extra level of security. And to do that, you just pump the glue in between the ornaments just to make sure they stick together. And these tails, they showing out. All right, so I think this is it. Let me make sure I secured everything. Okay. All right, so I'm done. Let me show y'all what I have. This is so pretty. I hope y'all's is pretty too. Ooh, oh my gosh. You ever made something that you know you gotta sell, but you want to keep it? That's how I feel about this. This is so pretty. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that's from Coming to America. But this is what I have. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Now I could probably fill this in just a little bit more, which I think I'll do. I'll add like some ornaments, some really small ornaments now that I can see it on the camera, which would make you think that I could probably see it in real life too. But you know, sometimes you look at a picture and you don't realize like, oh girl, I need a little help. I need some work. Yeah, so it's looking a little empty down there. So I wanted to add one more ornament, but wow, doesn't this look pretty? Where's the other space? There's a little space right here. Maybe I'll add one right there too. Let me see. But before I go, I want to show y'all the lights. So if you want to add lights to yours, you can add the lights. They were at Dollar Tree too. And this one already has the lights, and I attached it to the back. So I don't know if y'all can see what they look like. It looks like with the lights. And to attach the light, I use Scotch tape. So like this. Now I do plan to hot glue the back of this, but I started with the lights to the back. Let me put this down. So I started with the lights to the back, and then I just wrapped it around. So if you're going to attach lights, they look like the, ooh, excuse me. They look like this, and they come in red, yellow, and blue. To add the batteries though, you do need a screwdriver, like a mini Phillips head screwdriver. And you just have to take this part out. You see the screw right there? It's not readily apparent that you need a screwdriver, but you do to take this off, and then you add AA batteries. Is this AA? Yeah. And Dollar Tree sells these. This is the Dollar Tree brand. So to attach these, I started out by unraveling it. So I put it to the back, like here. And then I'm gonna move Old Faithful out of the way because she's been showing out today. So I'm gonna put her to rest for a little bit. So let me move this, move all the extras so y'all can actually see something. All right, so to attach them, I just started out by wrapping it around the ornaments. And this is also why I wanted to save putting the hot glue in between the ornaments for last, just because I knew I wanted to add lights. And so just to add them, I really just wrapped it around the ornaments, wrapped it in between, and just kind of snaked it around. You might want to do it like this, just so that the colors aren't all one-sided, aren't all on one side. So I just wrapped it like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's really just, most of the time they won't even really see the lights. But if you just kind of wrap it around and then tuck it in, kind of like how you would do lights if you had like a Christmas tree that wasn't pre-lit. And then you just wrap it around. Ooh, something's smoking. Just wrap it around. And then that's it. Now this has the lights attached. Let me see. Y'all see that? And that's it. That's the whole wreath. That's it. But this is like, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. How does y'all's look? Oh, good. Sherry says she can see the lights. Oh, good. Yay. And so to attach it, you could either hot glue it, or you can just take some tape to the back and then just like, you know how you take tape, just do it across. If you're concerned about it melting with the hot glue or something, you can just tape it straight across. But oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is those two. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I made these. Can y'all believe it? Let me see. Be sure when you post yours, when you make yours this week, be sure to use the hashtag Craftinista Sundays so I'll know that I can go ahead and repost it. But these are my two ornaments. Wow, don't they look pretty? This one is like a traditional red, white, and silver. And then this one is red, green, and gold. These look gorgeous. And I hope y'all's look gorgeous as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and end the class so I can post a recording to my YouTube channel at Keisha the Craftinista. But I do want to thank all of you for joining me. I want to thank all of you for following along with me tonight. And I want to invite you all to join my Facebook group. It's called Crafters Plus Creators on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram at Rikisha Craftinista. I'm also on Facebook under my government name, Rikisha L. Godfrey, so you're welcome to follow me on there as well. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to engage with you. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email at contact@rikisha.com. But this is it. So thank you all for joining me for Craftinista Sundays, and I'll see you next week. Bye.